right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm fired up about tonight because a man is back on this platform from actually the first ever wrestling company to have come on to Sportswire Radio. You know, everybody talks about, oh, Rhino was here. Savio Vega was here. This guy was here. And Dean Allmark was here multiple times. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? It wouldn't be for our guest. And if it wouldn't be for the company, the first company to ever come on to Sportswire Radio 4 years ago. 4 years ago. That's right. We wouldn't have had the prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, 1,400 subscribers nearly on YouTube if it wasn't for this man. This man. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This man who's a god of Morecambe. And this man who's been proving everybody all along that he's been right. He's been right. We're going to talk about that here coming up because we got a huge show coming up here this Saturday in Morecambe where this man is going to prove permanently why he is the god of Morecambe. Although we already know that general manager of Odyssey Pro Wrestling, Ethan Edwards, knows what's up. And we certainly know that man that used to be here. But if it wasn't for this man, if it wasn't for everything this man did for that man, well, we would never be talking about. But you know what? I'm going to rectify some wrongs tonight. I'm going to rectify them for our guest. Because, you know, I got a couple of things that I got for our guest that I'm going to surprise him with. And I tell you what, he's going to appreciate that. Hopefully you people in Morecambe out there will appreciate this just as much. But he's got 19 other people in his sights. He's going to tell us all about it. He's going to tell us where this all started. And who knows whatever else. I would not want to get on this man's bad side. I've known this man a long time. I know his resume, and I know what he's about to do this Saturday. So, you know, ladies and gentlemen, since we are here and since our guest hasn't been here in 3 years, I'm going to give him that introduction that really he should have been getting before Rhino and Savio Vega and Dean Allmark and all those other big names and the who's who of other people. So it is now time to start this show off here in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all wrestling matters. You want it, I want it, and most importantly, he wants it. Looking at this man, I better give it to him. So let's get this show on the road here in style on Sportswire Radio. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one, Global But Show, a man that is the founding father of Sportswire Radio, a man that is truly the reason why Odyssey Pro Wrestling is where it is today. A man that returns to Sportswire Radio for the first time in 3 years. A man that will permanently be known as the God of Morecambe. His name is simply put, the Cumbrian Outlaw Markus. My friend, how are we doing?
After that, absolutely sensational. Good, Tom. It's good to be back on the show. It's been a long time. When you told me it had been 3 years, I was actually a little bit shocked. I thought it had been 12 months or something, so it's amazing.
Well, you know what? We're rectifying that tonight because unfortunately that was that individual that you got rid of in Odyssey Pro Wrestling. That was 12 months ago with him. But the good news is we're going to rectify some of those things here tonight in prime time. You did build this platform after all. You did get us to where we are today. But we're going to certainly talk about those things. Yeah, it is good to be with you. It is certainly good to be back. And I want to set the tables. I want to go right on the bat here for those that are listening and watching. Maybe we go right on the ball here since we're in the UK. 2K. Make sure we get that ball into the net here. But for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform, you, the God of Morecambe, the Cumbrian Outlaw, Rick Markus, most certainly helped build here, Sportswire Radio. Tell us what we can expect here coming up this Saturday. Odyssey Pro Wrestling's first show of the year, Overboard.
The only thing, it's not even an expectation, it's a reality of what's going to happen. I'm going to throw 19 people over the top rope. I'm going to win the contract, and then I'm going straight after Will Carter. I might even finish the night with the championship. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm a dangerous man. A very dangerous man. And the thing is, none of this needed to happen. Absolutely none of this needed to happen. RPD, he beat me. And I was gone. I was retired. I went gracefully, didn't upset anyone on the way out. Gave RPD a kick in. He needed it. He deserved it. He took advantage of my good nature for 3 years at that point. But I left. I went. He wanted this. I came back. He's now gone. Then Ethan, the general manager, sticks his nose in everything. He then had to get a kick in, but he's that stupid that he allowed me to have my contract back if I beat him, which I was always going to. It carries on this weekend. I said I'll be number one. I said I'll be number one eventually, and they've actually made it happen for me, which is pretty stupid of them. Really.
But I would even say Ethan didn't have to even do any of this because months ago, he gave RPD that opportunity to have a match with you, an unsanctioned match, and this is all really Ethan. It's his fault. He didn't have to do that. Or he got coerced by RPD. And he even said that he considered you a friend. He considered you a friend, but yet he gave RP Davis that opportunity when you were friends. Last I checked, because I know the history, I know what's up. You were friends way longer with Ethan Edwards than you were with RP Davis, or Ryan, as some might call him.
Yeah, I was friends with both of them for a long time. I was friends with Ryan since 2020, friends with Ethan since, I don't know,
years.
2017, 2016.
Years, that's what I'm saying. You've been friends with him first. You were friends with him first.
It's a strange one because all these fans in Morecambe, they're all getting upset with me like I turned on them or something. Like, that's not what happened. It's not what happened, but they're too stupid to see that. Like from day one, I took Ryan under my wing, tried to help him, became a really good friend, was there for him, backed him all the way to the top.
He wouldn't have been where he was without you. And I am going to go, and we were talking about this off the air. I'm going to remind you about some of these things for the audience. I want them to know because there's a long history, and it actually involves yours truly. I remember 4 years ago, it was about 4 years ago around this time, that you personally were taking an interest in RPD. You were the one that was mentoring him more than almost anybody. You were the guy that led him to all these opportunities, into all these places. KOW, Kingdom of Wrestling. Yes, I met the guy that you might want to say owns that company here in New York a year and a half ago. And every place he's been to, Wrestle Island, TNT, you name all the opportunities he's gotten, being an extra in WWE a few times, the match with Anthony Ogogo. Rick Markus, the God of Morecambe, RPD would be nothing if it wasn't for you. He would just be some guy that'd be at the Davies boxing gym and, training some kids, maybe getting some work in. He wouldn't be who he is today if it wasn't for you over 4 years ago. And I remember here on this platform, we did an interview together, all three of us, talking about Odyssey Pro Wrestling, this idea, bringing wrestling back to Morecambe, and RPD was right there, hand in hand with you. He would be nothing if it wasn't for the God of Morecambe.
I agree. And it's so much deeper than that. It's so much deeper than that because I classed him a friend. But then because of what happened, these wrestling fans sending messages to my inbox, giving me abuse. And they're too stupid to see it. And the thing is, he's gone now. And it's down to them as well and their stupidity. He didn't have to.
But it was all about. But wasn't it all about the merchandise? It was about the money. It wasn't about the fans for all this time. You know, he was the Odyssey Pro Wrestling champion a long time, over a year. He was the champion, but really, I mean, it wasn't about the fans. It wasn't about the community. He's from Blackpool anyway. I mean, the facts are is that you and others had pointed it out in Odyssey that RPD was here for RPD. Not the RPD. You know, it wasn't for that. It was for RPD, and it showed because how come there was never thanks to Rick Markus, the god of Morecambe, the Cumbrian Outlaw, when he was going to place after place, and you know, you see article after article, the war with Anthony Ogogo, being an extra on SmackDown a few times. I would have thought Rick Markus would have been right there, you know, with saying, you know what, my brother. But if you guys were brothers, where was that Rick Markus mentioned? You don't know because I didn't see it. Last I checked, I didn't see it.
That's the difference. That's the difference. You know, he would have lost that Odyssey title 3 or 4 times if I weren't there to pull him out the crap, to defend him. You know, against the Spotlight, Lance Rivera, so many others.
Craig Collins, the War Machine.
Craig Collins, you know, Craig Collins is another one who gets no thanks. He's been there in Morecambe longer than me.
He's a legend. Listen, he's been around. I mean, think about that.
Gets no thanks. But the reason he didn't get no thanks is because he doesn't get on a microphone and pander to them all and have a new T-shirt every single time and kiss babies and stroke dogs and all this kind of nonsense.
Because he's a wrestler. He's what you call a wrestler. Whereas there are some that might be entertainers. But that's why you're going to rectify some of these things here coming up this Saturday. And, you know, the 19 individuals that are going to be meeting you, maybe would it be their best idea to find something else to do? Maybe watch a football match, maybe go out there and go in the local pub, maybe have a pint or two, because maybe they wouldn't want to meet you coming up, considering the mood that you've been in here these last 8 or 9 months in Odyssey.
No, I wouldn't want to meet me in there, but... At the end of the day, you know, stupidity breeds stupidity, doesn't it? And there seems to be a lot of it knocking around in Morecambe, and like you say, like there's a few people that definitely aren't going to be there. So I've already got rid of Ryan, and that's the last time I mentioned him tonight.
We're not mentioning him ananymore. We're not talking about him anymore.
I still want a Born Ready T-shirt.
No. You know what? You were always born ready. You know what? I mean, listen, you're the one that's here. And, you know, I want to point this out. The god of Morecambe, Rick Markus. I want to point this out. I'm going to plug Odyssey's links in a minute. I want some people here in the YouTube stream to go hit the sub button, go hit the follow. But in the introduction here, sir, I thanked you for the opportunity 4 years ago. Because the truth is, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have had Savio Vega and Rhino. We wouldn't have had Dean Allmark multiple times. We wouldn't have had Mustafa Khan. We wouldn't have had all these different people that are here. Yeah, I'm here. I've been on Sportswire. It was not for you. If it was not for you, sir, where would we be? I don't know. I'd probably be, you know, I don't know. I don't know where maybe not be alive. Well, I hope I'd be alive. But you know what I'm saying? The point is that the truth is that I thanked you. I made sure to thank you because I would have thought that RP Davis, RPD, I know, don't mention his name anymore, but he would have made sure every place he went to across this country these past 3.5 to 4 years, he would have thanked you. He didn't. If he was such a brother, he would have thanked you. But I made sure when I did that introduction, I thanked you. I thanked you, sir, for those opportunities you gave me all those years ago. I thank you, sir, because if it wasn't for you and those opportunities, we wouldn't be where we are today.
I appreciate that. And it's nice to be appreciated for the work we've done, you know? And it's a testament to you as well. You've done incredible with Sportswire.
No, you, sir, it was the testament to you. No, you, sir, you gave those opportunities.
No. You deserve these opportunities that were coming up, and you know, seeing you doing the interviews with Rhino and Savio Vega were really cool as well. You know, so well.
We wouldn't have had him without you, sir. The point is,
but I know you're good at giving compliments, but not very good at receiving them.
So I've heard.
You've done incredibly well, and you've shown some unbelievable resilience to get to where you are and what you're doing now. And you deserve all the success.
Well, we appreciate that, but I tell you what I do want to do. If you're here for the first time, and I see a lot of people here for the first time, hit the sub button for Odyssey. I'm going to put Instagram up in a minute. We've got a huge show coming up here this Saturday. I'm very excited about it. We have a man here that has not been here in 3 years, a man that is one of the OGs of this platform, the legendary, now the god of Morecambe, Rick Markus. He is most certainly the god. And yeah, it's not an AI thing. It's not a video that's coerced. It's not used with Copilot on Microsoft, Adobe Photoshop. No, he is the true definition of the god of Morecambe. He is going to win that Rumble coming up here this Saturday. The only Rumble that matters here on Sportswire Radio is the one that Odyssey's having. I can't wait to talk more about it here for the next 25 or 30 minutes. Hit the sub button for me here. We'll get to the chat. The chat has some things to say. We'll do that here coming up. I always like to ask people this question because I got a couple of things I want to present to you because I want to make sure I remember those that were supporting me when nobody really was, including my own mother, by the way. But that's a different show for a different time. But I always ask this question, beginning of the year. You've been here before, but I'll refresh your memory. What are your goals here for 2025?
All my goals.
Yeah, what are your goals?
Odyssey Pro Wrestling Championship. That's a given. And Knockout Wrestling Tag Team Championship. I want that as well. It's the only thing I've not won at Knockout Wrestling.
I know that. We've had quite a history with KOW. That's for sure.
Yeah. So at the last Knockout Wrestling show, me and Craig Collins, like I say, one of the most underappreciated wrestlers around. We decided that enough's enough. The disrespect's enough. It's time to team up. And absolutely no one is going to get in the way of us two. No one. Yeah. There's a legitimacy there. It's not step up and you get slapped. As simple as that. And there's no one in Knockout Wrestling that's going to stop me and Craig. No one.
No, there's no question about that. And also, if you're on Instagram, hit the follow button for Odyssey. And there's no question that you're going to do some of those things, and you'll start with some of them here coming up this Saturday. You touched upon Will Carter, and you touched upon him. He's the Odyssey Pro Wrestling World Champion at the moment. And I do want to spend a few minutes on him because you've got even more of a longer history with him than maybe anybody else in this sport. And I know that he's a man that's on borrowed time. And I mean, what would you want to say to the champion right now? And maybe some, last moments he should have with that championship once you win the Rumble here this Saturday.
You should just enjoy it. He deserves it. He deserves all his success. He deserves his success. I've known Will since he was a 12.
I know. I remember when he came here. You were here. I mean, you've known him since he's what? I don't know. I'm trying to think. 10, 11, right? Something like that.
About 12 years. About 12 years old. I've known him since, and he deserves every success. He became undeniable in Odyssey. That's the reality. The thing is, as well, he should be thanking me as well, like they all should.
That's why I'm thanking you the whole show tonight.
Isaiah Quinn, who was a champion before him, he should have been thanking me. RPD should have been thanking me.
Well, RPD, listen, you know what? You know what, though? He really shouldn't have had – he had an opportunity not to retire you. He did have an opportunity. Your career was on the line, and if he was a brother and if he was such a good friend, he would have just made sure, you know what? We'll have a fight. We'll have a respectful match, but I'll certainly do the honors and keep my brother's career alive, and he didn't do that. Just one more final thing on that, because I think that was a point that if he was such a brother, he could have kept your career going.
Yeah, well, I don't expect him to lay down for me. And like I said, I was happy to go. I just needed to let him know my thoughts before I went, and that's what I did. And then he's the one who rang me and called me back. I was on holiday when Ethan rang me up. I was sat by a swimming pool. I was quite happy. They called me. I was gone. I was done. And I just needed to let him know what I thought about him before I went. It was as simple as that. And like I say, when I came back, handed the title to Isaiah Quinn, and then Will's gone on this amazing run. What happens? Will eventually beats Isaiah Quinn. None of that happens. None of that happens without me. So he should be thanking me as well. It's the amount of disrespect I get, really, when none of this would be happening without me, to be honest. Ethan wouldn't be the person he is without me.
Your relationship with Ethan...
We also love Decker now as well. What's that all about?
Well, Andre Decker, you know what? I'm reserving judgment on Andre Decker because he's an interesting individual to me on this platform. We've had an interesting history. I'm just going to put it that way, Andre Decker.
It's interesting with Decker. Like I sincerely like you know he's clapping along with the fans. They all seem to like him at the moment, and I'm hoping in my heart of hearts that he's just being super devious and he's going to show what he's really about, because I had a lot more respect for him when he just kind of did what he wanted. Now he's turned into another just a weak individual like the rest of them. I find it all very bizarre, to be honest. And like I assume he'll have t-shirts to sell as well this weekend. That's what they do. That's what they do, by the way, Mark. And because you know they're not loyal fans, but they're
fair weather fans.
They're avid fans. So they know if they're clapping for you, oh, we can monetize this, we can make some money off these guys. But they fall for it every time. You know, Will's going for the title. All of a sudden, Will t-shirts are out. Shock, horror.
That's fair weather fans. Everybody's fair weather. Everybody's bandwagoners. But that's all going to come to an end. And Will should just hold on to the title, take some photos with it, show it around to his family. You know, we know his mother very well. You know, just show it.
When I win the Rumble, I might let him hold on to it for another few months. You know,
don't tell everybody. Don't tell everybody what you're going to do. Don't tell everybody.
I could tell them, and there's still nothing they can do about it.
That's true, too. I'm not going to argue with that point. But obviously, I do want to ask you something here, because let's talk about the strategy here for a few minutes. I know you're going to tell me, but I have to formally ask it to you before I give you a couple of
What's Lucy saying on there?
No. So she wrote an article, but what it was that you're the number one entrant in the Rumble. And I'm curious on this strategy, in that, is there any strategy to just go out there and just throw everybody over, or are you preparing differently? Let's say if you were number 20, would you be preparing differently for the Rumble? Or if you were, let's say, number 10, I do find that interesting in a sense. And is there any preparation different because you're the number one entrant versus, let's say, if you were later on as an entrant in the Rumble?
I don't know if I am the number one entrant unless Ethan said it, because I assume now I'm back, Ethan's going to make me number one. I assume, and if that's what I've got to do, then do you know what? Being number one will actually be easier, because if I've got 90 seconds,
right,
I can just do them all one at a time. It's not a problem. If I go in there, number 10, there's already 7 people in there. It'll be easy, but it'll be awkward. You know what I mean? There's a lot of moving parts. I'm going to have to chuck one over, and then, you know, it'll be a bit of a pain in the backside, really. So if I am in at number one, then great, you know, because there's no one that can last more than 90 seconds with me.
Not considering the state that you're in. Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely I'm not arguing that point.
I'm fitter than them all. I'm stronger than them all. I'm a better wrestler than them all. Whatever. We're number 1, number 20, number 9, 10. It really doesn't matter. If anything, put me in number 1. It'd be easier.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to argue that. Yeah, I mean, I've said it all the time over the last 4 years that we've known each other. That you are, I think, in the country, pound for pound, in the best shape of anybody out there. I mean, there's no denying that that's what you do in, wink and a nod real life there. But all right, you know what? Let me get to a couple of things. I know you're a busy man. I know you're the god of Morecambe, and gods don't have much time. So I'm going to give you a couple of things. I want to certainly do this here. So let me take care of this here. Let me give you the first of 2 things. I want to make sure you're appreciated here on this platform. I want to make sure that you're remembered for all the different things that you've done for us here. But first of all, congratulations. The time is finally now to put you into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. You know why it's time? Because RPD's in the Hall of Fame, but here's why you're more important. Because guess what? The guy that just got inducted into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame was this guy, Savio Vega. Everybody's talking about, and to show my appreciation for you, the god of Morecambe, Rick Markus, I wanted to make sure that I put you right into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame just after this guy, Savio Vegas. Everybody's now going to be talking and remembering, well, who's in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame? So I wanted to make sure that I appreciate you. I wanted to make sure that I thank you and put you into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Be that first person right after Savio Vega. And thank you for everything, sir, that you've done for me in this platform.
Honestly, Tom, that means a great a great amount to me. Means a hell of a lot. Not 101st as well. Absolutely incredible. Who would have thought
Sabio
that?
was 100. It's funny. The last three guys probably have been three of the biggest ones. I mean, Allmark and that guy I'm not going to mention are the pretty big ones. They're the first couple, but it's Stud Bronson, who just wrestled Sabio Vega and just wrestled him, and then he's wrestling somebody else pretty big, and then Mr. Vega himself, and then you, and what you've done really for this platform symbolically. I thought there was no better person to have you in the Hall of Fame right after Sabio Vega.
It means a lot. It does mean a lot, Tom. And like I said to you before, seeing you getting to do them kind of interviews as well now. You put your faith in some of these, in smaller companies and people that are trying the best, trying to step up, and you don't turn your nose up at anyone where other people might do, and you get in the rewards that you deserve on here as well. So through just.
I wanted this though. I wanted you to have this, and I'm not done. I'm not done because I got something else for you. Because I do want to make sure that it's known as Rick Markus Day on all Sportswire radio platforms. Yeah, because I know Saturday's going to be your day. I know in Alhambra and Morecambe you're going to get it done. But I wanted to let the world to see that it's going to be Rick Markus because I don't think RPD, we gave him a day on Sportswire. So I want to make sure that you got a day here. See, that's another big one up you got over him. And it's all of my platforms. It is Rick Markus Day here. That's right. Whether it's YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, X, Tumblr, TikTok, Facebook, Sportswire Radio, you name it. It is your day, sir. It is your day. It is your day.
Fantastic. I'm gonna get a T-shirt made as well. They won't sell him, Markham, but I'll get.
No, you know what? Well, after you win the Rumble, it might, because remember, you did make a good point, sir. That everybody who wins the championship, all of a sudden, everybody buys their merchandise. So listen, not so fast. You win that Rumble, you win the title. Whenever you decide to do it, they'll sell your merchandise, and it'll go like hotcakes. Don't you worry about it. Let me get to some people here in the chat. They want to say hello to you real quick. Let me give them an opportunity. Zilla would like to say hello. Thank you, Zilla, for tuning in. My guest here at 8:30 p.m. my time, Jake Dvorak, wanted to say hello. A fellow bruiser, a fellow tough man, would like to say hello from the great state of Massachusetts. Hello to Jake. My buddy, Mr. Darkron's in the house, who just messaged me. He's returning to the ring. He's what he said to me off the air, I was a little sad about, but he's very happy to be here live, and I'm happy to see him. Thank you for that. Yep. Okay, thank you, Zilla, for that. Good to see everybody again. Daniel Banner, who just stepped foot in a ring over in the Fountains Church last week with Sean Only. Awesome. Want to say hello to him. Good stuff. Follow Odyssey on YouTube. Do me a favor, hit the sub button. Thank you, Darkron. Darkron just subbed. Zilla, I know, will sub as well. Instagram, Odyssey Pro Wrestling. Do that. Boom, boom, boom. My buddy Chase Wakefield, who's, I know you're a busy man, but I should probably ask this question to you, because you'll probably chuckle this before I get to a few final thoughts. Now, this guy, right, he's a wrestler, but he's having a wrestling wedding super show. He's getting married and decided he wants to have a wrestling show. I know that you got no time for that. You just want to kill everybody that's in the ring with you, but is this guy out of his mind, Chase Wakefield, that he wants to have a wrestling wedding invitational or what?
I think whoever he's marrying is out of the mind.
I say that she's the one that really is the winner.
All right. Well, I'm joking aside. Congratulations. I'm getting married in this August.
Congratulations!
If I suggested that to my fiance.
Well, you're a big man. You're you're a killing machine, and this guy's he's just bones. You basically eat bones.
This is class. Oh, brilliant. I didn't realize there was an Instagram page and everything. Fair play. Good man.
You know what? Yeah, no, he's a great guy, but I don't know how he's going to pull this off. And follow him. Yeah, it's funny. And he said, and by the way, he did want to chime in. We're both getting married in August, so maybe you guys should attend both. No shade here for both of you. Maybe you both should go on international and attend each other's weddings. Could you imagine that?
stranger things have happened.
Yeah, you know what? But this guy, I'll tell you something. He would pull it off. This guy, let me tell you something. This guy knows everybody. He tells me about people that have come on the show that, oh, yeah, all right, I know they're coming on. So he might be, this is the kind of guy, Chase Bakefield, you just be surprised. He might be in that wedding. He probably knows Mark. He's probably talking to him already. And, because we know that you'll allow him to show up, but not that guy that I'm not mentioning anymore that starts with an R. Definitely not mentioning his name. There's no question that I'm not going up there and saying that. But obviously, this is the God of Morecambe, the Cumbrian Outlaw, Rick Markus. He is going to be in action coming up here this Saturday for our friends here in Odyssey Pro Wrestling. And if you want to go buy some Odyssey Pro Wrestling merchandise before we let Mr. Markus go, I want to put the Odyssey Pro Wrestling website up so people can shop, look at different things. I know stateside, maybe we're not able to see certain things, but please share to your friends. We have a lot that we want to support, so make sure we support everybody here in Odyssey. Definitely
I believe there's a Patreon page as well where where you can pay the monthly thing and you can get all the shows, so you can see all the stories that have gone through and everything. This is one of the only times where Ethan's actually got some use because he knows all the links and everything like that.
Well, it's late. I remember when the design was being laid out a couple years ago, and you got some merchandise here. Lucy's got some old articles that she's written. You want to buy some stuff?
I think we're getting a new website built as we speak, I believe.
Well, I know the feeling. I did mine a year and a half ago, and I'm like, I just will not rebuild it.
It just all moves so fast.
Yeah,
technology and everything, and what was new then 12 months later?
I'm actually in the same boat with this, and I think Mr. Wakefield likes the website. I'm very happy about that. He would like to also say that he is a fan. He's actually a fan of I told you, he knows wrestling. I'm telling you. He messages me. We were talking about my guest the other day, Skrilla, who just wrestled Lexus King and Colby Carino. He's like, who did he wrestle? I knew him. And there you go. And he wants to come to the country, so you never know there. Great stuff. Hit the sub button also for Odyssey on YouTube. Let me pull up before you go the Odyssey YouTube page. Let me do that here. I'm going to take this off the screen. Go like this. So if you're here, let's push those subs up. You can get a sense of what Odyssey has to offer. This is what family-friendly wrestling is all about. This is the very best in the country. Please check it out. This is the first wrestling company that ever came on this platform, Odyssey Pro Wrestling. So I can't stress enough the importance of supporting Odyssey Pro Wrestling. Please check them out. Please support them. They have a huge show coming up here this Saturday. I am excited about it. You should too. It's the Overboard Rumble, and it takes place here coming up in the Alhambra Live. The doors are going to open here 6 o'clock British Standard Time. 5:30 p.m. is the VIP. You better be there, be square, or else, well, let's just say, Rick Markus is going to kill you. But okay, all right. So let's get to you some final words. So, do you have any final words for anybody you're gonna go square off in the ring with coming up this Saturday? I know you're a busy man.
I'm kind of done with words now. Like, I'm done with words. I'm done with explaining myself. I'm like, I feel like I've spent the last 10 months trying to, find the right words to explain to the Morecambe wrestling fans why I did what I did and why we are here where we are now. And the problem is they just don't get it. They don't get it. But I don't expect them to get it. They're not very bright. So it's the last show, and I had pretty much jumped in the crowd. I was going to rip someone's arms off for the absolute disrespect they were giving me, and it's funny, really, because when they're in the crowd and they're flipping the bird, try to be all cheeky and all that, it's amazing how quickly the face changes when you come out and tell them. And yeah, I'm done with words. I'm just going to go win the Rumble, win the title, upset a few people, and then I'm going to go home. It's the same night as the Royal Rumble as well, so I'll get home and I'll watch that, I think.
No, I was even thinking once you win the Overboard Rumble, you'll just teleport and win the Royal Rumble because, there's nobody messing with you. So to me, the way I see it is that you win this Rumble here in Alhambra, and there would technically be enough time for you to go over and fly and teleport and win and here in Indianapolis, Indiana, Lucas Oil Stadium, and go and win that Rumble. I wouldn't put it past you, to tell you the truth.
That's it. That's it. So in the next over the next couple of years, I'm going to be coming over to the States as well.
Are you coming to New York?
Yeah, actually, yes.
Good.
So funny story. We don't have anything booked yet, but I met a few years ago. I met a New Yorker that was traveling, over in Outlaw.
I met Ronaldo, and I met let's just say Sheriff Steele as well.
Yeah, Sheriff Steele. Yeah. Awesome.
Yep.
And I met a guy down in London that's from New York, and he's actually invited me to his wedding this year, but it's in Peru, so I can't.
Boo!
My own wedding, it's literally
between me and you, Sheriff Steele's coming back to New York. He's already messaged me. We're going to meet again. So Sheriff,
brilliant. So because he lives in New York, I said we're going to have a trip over there, and I'm going to see him. So what I'll do
I can't wait to meet you. I'm going to make sure I remember you. Unlike that guy with the R, I'll make sure we'll take you out for pizza. We'll make sure you have a nice day. We'll make sure we take care because you are the guy to.
I was New York pizza. That's what I want.
I did it with the sheriff. Sheriff loved it. He had a great time. He took photos with me. He was great. I was like, no problem. The least I could do. So we'll definitely make sure that we take care of you on that. And obviously, I know you're a busy man, so let me pass the baton to you. Any final thoughts? Anything else? Just plug your Instagram and move on. We'll plug your Instagram and move on.
That's it. No, we're all good. All
right. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. We're going to be even better. We're going to be even better coming up here this Saturday for Odyssey Pro Wrestling's latest show coming. It's the Overboard Rumble. I'm excited about it. If you're here right now, I want to say hello to my friend James Taylor, by the way, who's a big Stone Cold guy on TikTok. And, you do look like Stone Cold. So James Taylor, if you want to meet Rick Markus, he's here now. You say hello to him. But no, obviously it's just a joke. We're just joking around. But if you are here right now, do me a favor. Hit the sub button for Odyssey Pro Wrestling's YouTube page. You can do that here. You got some stuff from the past. Get a sense of who they are. Then check out their website, Instagram, Patreon, merchandise, a whole bunch of different things. And there's going to be some more Odyssey Pro Wrestling coverage here coming up later this month. So stay tuned for that. I'm excited. You should be excited as well. This is the first company. This is the first wrestler that was here, really, and we want to thank him so much. Thank him for everything he's done for us. It's Rick Markus Day. We'll give this to him when we're off the air, and he's the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, the one right after Savio Vega. Boy, pretty damn good, last I say. But, my friend, looking forward to this Saturday. Thank you for all you've done for us. I can't wait to see what happens here coming up at Alhambra Live this Saturday, and go get him, and we'll certainly never mention that guy's name R again.
It's all good.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally where all wrestling matters. We're here on Sportswire Radio with Rick Markus, the God of Morecambe, the Cumbrian Outlaw. He is the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Please go to all of Odyssey Pro Wrestling's links to get more information. If you're on Sportswire Radio, I'll be back here at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time with Jake Dvorak. And also, if you're here, hit the sub button, the like button for us. And thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Also, by the way, Mr. Kron would like to say, Mr. Markus, I'm so glad that you helped launch Sportswire Radio. So yes, there you go. See, the people are already thanking you. They're thanking you more than that guy that, with an R. See, even in Michigan, Massachusetts, Alabama, Ohio, Georgia, they know what's up. Pennsylvania, they've thanked you more than the people of Morecambe. They've thanked you more than everybody else did, especially with the name with an R, and even Andre Decker. We'll throw that one in there too. But thank you, everybody. And we love Mr. Kron. Sub to Mr. Kron's YouTube page. And we'll see everybody in a little while on Sportswire Radio. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, where you are on another one. Global Reaction that is Sportswire